Hi, this is Mark with Circle of the Dark Mother. If you like our content, please like and subscribe. So today I'm going to talk about Lilith as a Mesopotamian goddess. So beginnings. This information has been in other videos, but I want to address it directly. So pieces of this, part of this content has been part of larger videos. But I keep seeing posts and authors saying there's no evidence that Lilith was a goddess in Mesopotamia. And that's not true. It is true that there's not a great deal of writing or imagery that can be directly linked to Lilith until she is adopted into Jewish Midrash. This is partly because of the fact that most of the cities really talked about their local god or goddess, even though there were hundreds. And imagery, we don't know who they depicted, such as the Bernie relief, which was once thought to be Lilith, but is now thought to be Inanna or Ereshkigal. But truthfully, we don't know. It could be anybody. Those are pretty likely suspects, but we don't know. However, there is one direct evidence of Lilith being a goddess in Mesopotamia. So why she's a goddess? The name Lilith does appear in the Sumerian Assyrian god list. This document was called An Danu'um and An Anusa Amali, and that's transliterated into English from cuneiform. Lilith is listed in this Sumerian Assyrian god list, and in Sumerian, her name is a series of syllables that would be dim, mi, gi, or g, or something like that. I don't know the exact pronunciation, but it is translated into English into dim.me.gi. And then in Assyrian, the word that transliterates to Lilitu. Only gods and goddesses are listed in this document. So we know Lilith was considered a goddess. She wouldn't be in the document if she wasn't. So this Sumerian name, because her Sumerian name is Dim Migi with the Dim Mi prefix, we know that it's considered both a goddess and a demon. The Sumerian word dim.mi.r means gods and goddesses, so it's plural. It could be either. Dim Mi ir means gods, and Dim Mi er means goddesses. So there are gender termed ones as well. Most deities don't have the Dim Mi prefix as part of their name, but there are several goddesses who are also considered demons who do have this prefix. For instance, Lamashtu is just dim.me with nothing after it. And then other goddesses that are demons are dim me with something after it, such as Lilith and a number of other female goddesses that are demons. There are many gods and goddesses who are also demons in Mesopotamia. The title of demon means that a being does not follow the rules of deity and do their own thing. So it doesn't mean they're evil. Some of them can be, but some of them can also be helpful. A great example of this is the demon, he's called a demon in Western culture, but Pazuzu. Pazuzu was a god of grain and pestilence. And so he could be evil, but he was also used to ward off Lamashtu, who was a demon goddess. So he could be used for good as well. And that was true of many of these. Lamashtu, for instance, who was, usually thought as a baby eater and a killer of women, it's starting to become a question whether some cases she was that, and some cases she was actually a support for women in childbirth. And the problem is we have thousands of years of Sumerian and pre-Sumerian, and then post-Sumerian in Babylon, Assyria, and Akkad. We have, so many centuries that deities change how they're seen. And we also have so many different parts of the Mesopotamian land that worship these gods and goddesses. So the ideas change and morph. So they are very complex. So the name Lilitu, the name in Assyrian of Lilitu contains the syllable Lil, which means air, as in the god Enlil and his consort Ninlil. Enlil means Lord of Air, and Ninlil means Lady of Air. The Syrian name is something translated as she who comes by air or she who comes by wind. So that's what Lilith translates into very roughly, because again, we're taking Assyrian, which was a early Semitic language, and translating it into English. It's unknown who Lilith's parents are, but at least one was a deity, or she would not be considered a goddess, because you could only be a god or goddess by being the offspring, or the offspring of the original god and goddess. And so to be a deity, you have to be that. Lamashtu, whose Sumerian name is Dim.me, is the daughter of the sky god Anu. And it is possible that Lilith is also his daughter, with Lamashtu being a sister. And this is a theory some scholars have, is that all of the Dim.me goddess demons are all sisters. No matter who her parents, it is clear Lilith is a goddess based on her being listed in the Sumerian Assyrian god list. So that's the quick update I wanted to give. I just wanted to make sure that it is clear that there is evidence she was a goddess. There's not a lot of it. It's not as easy as like Inanna or Ishtar. Inanna being the Sumerian name and Ishtar being the later Babylonian name. But, you know, of the gods and goddesses, only the ones that were worshipped in specific cities had a real history. The rest, you had to go to these god lists or find very small, references to them. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed that. Take care.